Hello, and welcome to the Experience Local with Russ and Scott. Each week, they bring you conversations with local Christian businesses and business owners. Join in every Monday live at 9 a.m. Pacific on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Listen to the program on Spotify or wherever you listen to find podcasts. The Experience Local is brought to you each week by wonderful sponsors.
Copper Rock Real Estate. Commercial and residential real estate in the Mid-Willamette Valley. CopperRockRealty.com. Independent merchant brokers. Low cost and no cost debit and credit card processing. 877-460-4747. IndependentMerchantBrokers.com. Join Boson Hub Digital Development in supporting Kicking Cancer. Kicking Cancer provides support, education, and resources for cancer patients, survivors, and families. Kicking-cancer.org. More than just a home, the Arbor at Avamere Court in Kaiser. Arbor at AvamereCourt.com. Assisted living at Avamere at Albany. AvamereAtAlbany.com. Discover Oregon Real Estate. Experts in luxury home sales, farm and ranch, commercial, business sales, and land developments. On the web at dore.llc.
And now, your hosts for the Experience Local, Russ and Scott.
And good morning, everybody. Here we are live on the Experience Local, live with Russ and Scott. And so thankful to be here today. And we have a special treat today. We have a giveaway from an amazing local business that is also veteran-owned and operated. And we're just going to let you watch as we begin this show today. Thank you, Ironhead Roofing, our new gift sponsor, for this special $500 off a new roof. Take advantage today.
No small offer.
I tell you, small offer. And here it is. Not only do you get a beautiful $500 off certificate, but a brand new mug for Ironhead. And I'm telling you, $500 off a new roof is nothing to sneeze at.
So, Russ, how do people take advantage?
How do they? Well, I tell you, we make it super simple here on the Experience Local. All you have to do is make a comment today to be eligible. So say hi in the comments. That's all you need to do. You don't need to be complicated. Don't need to come up with some really brainiac thing to say. All you got to do is say hi to us in the comments, and you will be eligible today. So we appreciate everybody. Now, this is available to everybody within their service area, which is the Willamette Valley over to the coast. And up into the Portland area. They're working those areas. So we want to make sure that the people realize, if you're watching outside of that and you know somebody inside that area, you could win and give it to them. There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. Be the hero. You know, it's great. I appreciate the folks over at Ironhead. They are the most trusted roofing company in Oregon. Thank you to all of our sponsors that make the experience and the Experience Local available to everybody to watch, to listen to engage with, and engage with each other. As you see friends pop up in the comments, or invite friends and share. Today we've got Geoff Tyson, and a little closer to my neighborhood. You know, I'll just tell you, it does my heart good. We get into the green room, and Geoff greeted me with, "How's your world?" Oh my gosh.
There you go. He just thinks just right along here. You've taught him well, Scott.
What have you been up to, Russ?
Well, I tell you, I am enjoying time off with my beautiful family. After this today, we are going to spend time together, remembering, going to some of the areas where our loved ones are buried. Already visited my mom and father's site. a couple days ago over the weekend. So that was great. So blessed just to be able to relax, have a little family time is always good. Then off to another busy week tomorrow. So you know what, it keeps rolling. But I want to remind everybody today that we are here to bless your day. And if you want to know more about Scott and I or about the Experience Local, all of our shows, go to local.theexperience.video for all that information. And we'd love for you to join our YouTube page, which you can get to from local.theexperience.video, or go directly to theexperience.video. That will take you directly just to our YouTube page. We'd love for you to subscribe today. And I'm just excited about today, Scott. It's a good day. I have such good memories. And I think if we focus on that, it makes it a wonderful day. Yeah,
Memorial Day, it's a great time to remember, to spend time with your families, to think about those veterans, those folks that went out and sacrificed. And for those veterans in your family, friends, neighbors that didn't sacrifice their lives, but did make sacrifice to provide defense and support for the country and really for the world. I just got back from an event. Go ahead, Russ.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was just going to add to that, Scott, and say, not only people that served in the military, but people that shaped our lives. It's a good time to remember that. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I got back. I went yesterday. I went to Austin, and just 1,000 nerds in the room as we went to a lecture at the Hilton Hotel on ancient Egypt. And some of you may recognize this is the Dr. Zahi Hawass. He has been in, if you're interested like me in ancient history and specifically Egyptian history, and you've watched any documentaries, you have definitely seen Dr. Hawass. There's I got the general admission ticket. Fascinating stories. He started at 20 years old. He's going to be celebrating his 77th birthday. So over 50 years, getting close to 60 years studying ancient Egypt. He's written 60 books, and he tried to cram 7 years worth of experience and thousands of years in history into a 90-minute talk. It was just way over the top, good and interesting. But there's a bunch of nerds.
Well, it sounds like a great time. And, we can always learn more about history and ancient history. So for sure, I was focusing on Marketing with Russ this morning on positive memories and learning and growing from the good things in our lives. Right. And so we don't want to focus on the past, but we want to take what we learned and those positive memories, whether it's our past or whether it's ancient past, and make our life better with that information. That's always a good thing.
That's right. Yeah. Well, hey, with that, let's look into the future.
Let's do that. I just want to remind everybody again, if you want to get a $500 off full roof replacement, you're in the Willamette Valley, the coast, or Portland area, or Eugene, please make a comment today. Just say hi, and you are eligible for that information, and more information on Ironhead at ironheadroofing.com. So with that, we're going to get Mr. Geoff in the room, and we are ready. Mr. Geoff Tyson. Hey, Geoff.
Hey, what's going on, Russ, Dr. Scott? How you gentlemen this morning?
Good to see you. And
good to be here. Good to be here.
Good to have someone in the state. Good to have someone in the state here today.
Yes. And congratulations for you guys showing up and promoting your communities, doing God's work, and just always doing the services that most folks don't do. So I'm glad to be here with you gentlemen today, man.
Well, we're so glad that you're here, Geoff. And, we decided to go to the Texas local area today, more in Scott's neighborhood. And, we are just excited to have you. You are such a good friend. And I can't even tell you what a blessing it was for me. When I get down to Houston, you are on the top of my list to come see. I've got a handful of people I got to see when I get down there. So that's going to happen at some point. But you were such a blessing to meet me in New York when we both happened to be back in Manhattan. Yeah, that was such a blessing to see you. So give everybody a little snapshot. Who in the world is Geoff Tyson, and what are you up to?
Oh, man, just a quick snapshot. When I think about it, I get blown away that, I'm that kid that graduated from high school with a 1.9 GPA with the dream to go to the NFL. You know, when I think about the next 15 to 20 years, how that 1.9 turned into an outstanding corporate career, leading folks, breaking barriers back in the day when I was there, Scott. You know, there weren't many people that looked like me. So I was a barrier breaker at an early age, but I was grateful to have parents that led the example, worthy example.
And so this is just a good point to bring up, breaking barriers.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of talk today about what society is like. We definitely have a long way to go, but where we were, give a little view about the years that you're talking about on the calendar, and what kind of things did you, as a Black man in America, endure?
Well, that's a great question. So the gray hair does kind of indicate my true age.
I'm with you there. You know, a little salt and pepper here and there.
Oh, yeah, but that's a great positioning, Scott. You know, and back to my parents first, right? They were little ones. They had just come from just recently being able to use restrooms like everybody else, being able to eat at restaurants like everybody else, to be able to apply for occupational jobs like for everybody else, right? So all of those things were happening. And you know, Martin Luther King was assassinated. John F. Kennedy was assassinated. So the racial turmoil was at the highest level. Crazy. You think it's crazy now. It was really crazy. But here's the hit, man. My parents, right? They were dedicated to bring us into a place where there was peace and calm, and always taught us to remember that nobody's any better than who we are. Treat people with respect. Respect yourself first. Right? And don't worry about what people's opinions of you are. We want you to know that you are all meant for more, right? And so that helped, because I got to tell you, you know, that time was not easy, right? When words were said and people were criticized and people were still dying, right? From just a choice. Someone makes a decision one day and don't like you, and for some reason you disappear. I mean, all those things were happening, right? And so when I talk about barriers, here I am now in the corporate scene, and there weren't many that looked like me, but I had been given some practices, and I'll share them with you really quickly. One of them was, you treat somebody like you want to be treated. You be respectful for those around you, right? And my father oh man, listen, guys, I gotta tell you, my father would take us, he had a construction job, right? So plastering business. So he would take my brother and I to job sites, and we would go to the job sites, and people that looked like us weren't as friendly as we thought they would be, right? And they followed us around, and then people that didn't look like us welcomed us in the house, left us lunch, left us keys. I'm talking about nice neighborhoods where people like us didn't go to. All these things, man, and I'm trying to figure it out. And my father would say, here's an example of what I'm talking about. It's not about the color of the person, it's what's the soul inside.
Right. Well, and my goodness, that was so well said. I don't even know how to add to that, but I will say that I think that if we focused more, Geoff, on what's inside of the people around us, instead of always looking on the outside appearance, because it doesn't matter the color of your skin. There's a lot of other things on the outside that either deter or draw us and make us think positively or negatively, right? I mean, there's so many things. We are very judgmental without really trying to be, right? If you walk up, and if I walk up and I see a person with piercings all over and tattoos all over, I have an idea right off the bat what I think about that person, and I have to stop myself and say, hey, they're just like anybody else, right? But and I don't know the reasons why they chose to do that. Maybe they're good reasons, maybe they're not. I don't know. But I am currently reading actually a book that is covering a lot of what you're talking about the racial divide, and growing up, and how I have learned as a white man, which is not always a good thing to be these days. A white male is that I don't understand what you've had to endure even now, and what my friends have had to endure. I've got really good friends that Scott knows as well. In fact, including the mayor of a town that we're right next to, that first year in the city, he was pulled over 8 times for no reason except to check. And that has never happened to me.
Driving while black.
That's right. Exactly. Well, and especially because both of my 2 friends I'm talking about drove nice cars. So could they really have a nice car? Yeah. Or did they steal the nice car? Right. I mean, that's sad to think, but obviously they were stopped for not a good reason other than the color of their skin. So I will never understand that. But what I will understand is friends like you who have a heart for God. And let's talk about that, because this show is all about our faith, our family, and our local business. So let's start with your faith and how you've really propelled that into all that you do, how that really drives you, not the color of your skin, which is a separate issue, but how your faith really drives you.
Well, I have to be fully transparent, and my faith has been a roller coaster journey, right? I mean, my life has taken me close to what I thought I understood to the furthest away from anything about God, and the God I understood at that time wasn't a loving and caring and forgiving God. You know, it's that old traditional religion. So I had done some things, Russ, that, you know, for another show, that didn't necessarily fit into Christianity. And so I really was struggled with that. But you know what I found out, there's an old poem. You guys probably know this. I know you guys know this, and it's Footprints in the Sand. Yeah. You know that poem, and the last verse in there, because it was a question about God. I thought you were always free. And it says, I believe it says, guys, I was. When you see it was just one set of footprints, I was carrying you.
Right.
Right. So it carried me for a long time, man. And I'm on a journey now to reconnect. And you said something earlier. I want to say that, man, if we can learn to love thy enemy, pray for thy enemy, accept that person with the earrings and the purple hair and the crazy conversation they're having with joy in our heart, that's the beginning for me.
Yeah.
That's so my it's about a relationship right now. It's about, you know, when my sister passed 1.5 years ago now, and you know, he had helped prepare me to grieve, and you know, the grieving is a healing process, and that let him be there for me, and just you know, I'm unorthodox in a lot of ways, because Jesus is sitting in the chair right now smiling at me while we're having this meeting. Those are the relationships that I have, right? That it's just everyday living, man, in my life throughout the day, all the time.
You know, so you mentioned your sister passing, and my heart is with you, because she must have been young. She must have been young.
She was the baby. She was like 52.
Yeah.
You know, and suddenly, and you know, it's like business partner and sister. She created all these things and helped me show up where we are today from the darkness, right? And so, but she's smiling on the other side. She was on one side and her spirit on the other side.
Well, you know, to live is Christ, right? But to die is gain. But that doesn't make it easy. No. On your side. So actually, at our church, we're going to be doing a special event on grieving, just bringing in an expert to talk about this, because you know, Pastor, this last Sunday, you know, raise your hands if you've lost someone in the last, you know, number of years, and very few hands don't go up on some of that, whether physically or internally, right? They're like, I know I've lost someone. So you know, as Russ was mentioning, we're talking about faith here, and how it permeates your life. If you're willing, I would love for you to share about this grief and how you manage that, and how your faith applies to that, and just help some folks out.
Yeah, I would be glad to. You know, I could just share only my experience about that, Scott. You know, and I went from that dressed up garbage can where everything was great on the outside and rotten spiritually, emotionally, morally on the inside. Didn't deal with anything at all. So I never knew the gift of grieving. Not to, the first half of my life. So I substituted life skills with, all the things that kind of made me feel good on the outside: work, bad relationships, things that numb my feelings. And I was introduced to a program of recovery, and it helped me understand a few things. One is that, man, it's okay to cry. It's okay to not understand something. It's okay just to be Geoff. Regular old Geoff. Didn't have to have any mask anymore. So allow me to peel off the mask through God's loving me till I could love myself. I have a poem, a saying I do every day: grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and God, the wisdom to know the difference. And that took me from, for a long time, God meant to me good, orderly direction until I could believe that he believed that I was still okay. I mean, it was a mess, man. So anybody out there that's crazy and has some really bad experiences around and feel like God doesn't love you, he does. He is carrying you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just want to add to that we have to go through life. We have to go through these situations. Being in a situation where both my parents have gone to heaven, been through both of those: cancer, dementia, Alzheimer's, all of that. And, sometimes you think, where are you, God, through all of these challenges, right? And then myself with cancer, and, suddenly I'm stage 4 cancer, and what's going on, and these questions go through your mind. And I think that it's going through and letting God work, because you talk about your faith being a roller coaster. I think there's something wrong with you if your faith is always sunshine and roses, because that's not the way life is, right? And so people need to realize it's okay to have ups and downs. It's okay to be mad at God and be frustrated. I think he likes when we engage with him and we don't understand, and he has an opportunity to actually speak to us through all of that. So we talked a little bit about your faith and your family, but I want to make sure we have a little time talk about your business. Now, I know your business can go outside the local area, but you're right there locally in Texas, in Houston area. Talk a little bit about your business today and how that is being shaped and all that you're doing.
You talk about pure faith, right? I'm most recently over the last 15 years in the real estate investing, coaching, and development space, but in the last 3 years, I've stepped into a space where it's about leadership now. And Scott and Russ, I'm here to help 1 million men take down that mask, stop hiding behind all the things that they think make sense, and find a better connection with God. Right. And so it's about leadership training. So I'll be hosting, mastermind trainings. We're hosting seminars around leadership and vulnerability, and reintroducing them to faith and meeting them where they are. And man, bringing people like you and Scott in to speak on occasion. I'm already putting out the notice for that.
Count us in. We're here to help in any way we can.
Yeah, so that's a big thing. So, you have professionals that are doing well. We focus on high earning, successful folks who are like I was 30 years ago, still struggling from the wounds that they never healed, they never grieved over, and introduce them to the grieving process and take them through the steps to heal.
So what do you have coming up that folks can look at and plan for?
Well, there'll be something coming out. There'll be a summit planned and it'll be focused on men at first. And it's going to be coming out sometime in July, and one early introduction in June. I haven't got the date set yet, but it'll be in June. It's been moving around a little bit, and it'll be focused on intimate setting. There'll be limited space. So when you see it, they want to make sure they take advantage of it, Dr. Scott, and don't miss out.
And you're talking about an in-person event as opposed to an online event.
Well, it'll be virtual. Thank you.
Okay.
The first couple will be virtual.
Okay.
With the plan year in to bring everybody together physically at the close of the year. So there'll be 3 different summits between now and the end of the year, with the last one being a live and virtual. to bring everybody together. So more information will be coming out around that. And I'm actually going to have a mastermind plan in the middle of June for about 15 guys that can help us really kind of bring the leadership to a new level.
That's so awesome. Well, listen, we're so thankful. Again, everybody, we're talking to Geoff Tyson, the comeback king and my good friend. And Mr. Comeback King, give us your gold nugget of today's conversation and let us know what you want people to remember. And then remind everybody how they can get in touch with you.
Yeah. Well, the gold nugget is just to remember that God will love you no matter what you've done, no matter where you've been, no matter who you've harmed, and most importantly, yourself. And it's possible to achieve change. And surround yourself with people like Scott and Russ who care, who are willing to serve, and will love you until you can love yourself. And the best way to reach me is my email, Geoff, Geoff Tyson @gmail.com. And I don't know if you have my other links in the chat or not, Russ. If not, that would be the best place to start. Please reach out. We do respond. Connect with me. There's some other stuff right there in my calendar link. I really encourage anybody that has a question about anything right now, sign up, grab my calendar link and make an appointment. It does show what my coaching programs are in there for men, but I encourage you to get past that and let's connect and have a conversation.
Yeah, that is so awesome. I'm telling you, I am so thankful for you, Geoff, and all that you're about, number one. I mean, I highly recommend anybody that needs a good coach today needs to go to Geoff. Somebody who needs to take a look at their life and what their focus is on. Where is your faith today? Where is your focus? Look to Geoff. And Geoff, you know what? I tell you, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you and coming on today. You're just a true blessing. So any last words before we let you go?
Well, I want to say thank you to both of you gentlemen and to your audience. Continue to recognize, hope they continue to recognize all the things that you guys do. And lastly, to your point, Dr. Scott, let's talk more about those racial times, because those are still living in people's lives today, right, on top of everything else that's going on. So, and like you said, though, Russ, it's about the person on the inside. So let's learn to love from the inside out. Let's not judge. And let's be epic. Encourage, praise, inspire, and compliment. That's my wife's and I motto. Let's be epic. Encourage, praise, inspire, and compliment. And don't be shy about it, baby.
There we go. There's a great bumper sticker right there.
There you go.
The epic sticker. I love that.
Thank you.
We'll work on that bumper sticker for the next time you're here. So,
all right.
What a blessing, Geoff. Hang tight. We're going to say goodbye, but we'll hang tight in the green room for a sec. We'll be right there.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Have a
great
great
day.
day.
Thanks, Geoff.
Hey, before we get rolling today, I just want to remind everybody, you still have time to make a comment anytime today. Mm-hmm. It goes for the day today. Anytime today you make a comment on the show link here, you are eligible. So we've already got several eligible for today. Keep making comments today, and you will be eligible for a $500 off your roof replacement. Yeah,
and send the link of this program to a friend of yours. They were in the Willamette Valley. Just have them make a quick comment, because I'll tell you what, roofs are expensive. You need to get it done. It's just one of those things.
That's right.
They last a certain amount of time, and you do not want to live with a bad roof.
No.
Take advantage of Ironhead today.
You do. And also, if you want more information on us, local.theexperience.video, you can go to there today and straight to our YouTube page at theexperience.video. So thankful you're all here today. And until next week, when we'll have another amazing guest, enjoy your week, enjoy your Memorial Day, and enjoy
your local experience.
There you go.
Thank you for tuning in to The Experience Local with Russ and Scott. Listen to the program on Spotify or wherever you listen to fine podcasts. Join in every Monday live at 9 a.m. Pacific on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. We look forward to seeing you next time on The Experience Local with Russ and Scott.